Hi, friends. I'm Lori Palau, host of the popular weekly podcast, This Organized Life, founder of Simply Be Organized, and author of the book Hot Mess, A Practical Guide to Getting Organized. For the past 7 years, we've been sharing stories, interviews, and strategies to help you live a more organized life. Whether you're struggling with physical clutter, calendar clutter, digital clutter, or just overwhelmed with the mental load of all the things, we're here to help you every step of the way. We know that one of the biggest struggles many of us face is time, and even finding the time to listen to a 45-minute long episode might not even be doable, which is why we've created this Organized Life Tip of the Week. These short episodes are designed to give you a little boost to start your week off on the right foot in under 15 minutes. This might be something that I'm doing in my personal life that I wanted to share, a tip that someone shared with me that I want to pass along to you, or maybe it might just be a prompt or story to help you think differently about the true meaning of clutter. New episodes of our Tip of the Week are automatically going to show up in your podcast feed on Mondays, and our regular long-form episodes will continue to drop each and every Thursday. Now, if you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe or follow button for instant access to all of our 300 plus past episodes. And if you're already subscribed to TOL, there's nothing that you need to do. Our bonus episodes should already be in your feed. Regardless of whether you just found us or you're one of our OG listeners, I am so happy that you're here. Now, let's get to it. Hey guys, Lori Palau here from this Organized Life podcast, and today we are talking about our tip of the week. Hope you're loving these episodes. Share them. I've heard so many people that are like, oh my gosh, my friend shared this on Instagram or sent me a text with this link and I'm loving it now. So we appreciate the word of mouth to help our show grow. So please, again, if you're not already subscribed, click the follow, subscribe button wherever you're listening to this, and spread the word, because that is how our show is able to grow, because of you out there. And we are so appreciative. Going to talk about something today that may or may not be popular. I think people have an opinion about this one way or another, but it is about taking a social media break. And as I've said on this Organized Life podcast before on our regular episodes, I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I think it's great for being able to connect with people that I don't get to see on the daily basis. It is great from a business perspective to be able to share content with all of you, whether it's podcasts or articles or things that we're doing that can help benefit you in your lives. Like, that is something that I love. I also do a ton of work in the nonprofit charity space, and I love being able to use social media to spread the messaging of the work that we do with pediatric cancer research or any other number of amazing organizations that are out there. So that being said, I think there's a lot of benefits for social media. I also know the downside to social media. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the toxicity of people being out there spreading fake news, just the polarization. But how about just the mindlessness of scrolling? And I am the first one, like, these tips are formed each week from stuff that either I'm experiencing in my own life or something that I've had a conversation with a client or a friend. And like, these are everyday struggles that I'm hearing from either myself or people in my world. And one of the things that I hear from so many people is, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do things. And, obviously we all have the same amount of time in a day. And this is not to lecture. This is not to shame anybody. But every week we are all given, at least if you're an Apple user, you get that screen report that gets sent to you, I think, on Sundays. And it says what your screen usage is. And it says where you're using your screens, what apps you're using, where are you spending your time. And it's always very eye-opening to see how much time we spend on different apps. And again, I understand that a lot of times people use social media to grow their businesses or do stuff that they're supporting in their community or for organizations. So again, I'm not saying it's all bad, but I think it's really important to be able to differentiate and set some guidelines and parameters around how and when and where we are using social media. And as a parent, I am so grateful that my kids weren't exposed at a young age the way kids are now. I think it would totally be kind of shaping my parenting differently than it was. But we need to lead by example, folks. And now, if you're listening to this in real time, we're entering into the summer where for some people, we're taking things down a notch. So it's easier to have a tendency to just mindlessly scroll more or spend more time doing things in a non-productive way. And I think it's okay to have certain pockets of our lives where we are just pure enjoyment. Not everything has to be productive, moving the needle. But when I think about people that tell me, I don't have time to read a book, or I don't have time to go for a walk, or I don't have time to exercise, or I don't have time to fill in the blank. But we look at the 20 minutes that we spend in the morning or at night, or as we're standing in the aisle, online, looking at social media and really saying, is this the best use of my time? Is this the way? And it's not even the best use of my time, but are there things that I'm missing out on that I could be doing, that I would rather be doing, that would be bringing more value to my life, that would be enhancing my life in some way, shape, or form? And I noticed myself when I started putting some guardrails. So I'm not saying you have to do an actual full on detox, right? You don't have to say you can, if you want, hey, I'm shutting it down and I'm going on a hiatus for a week or a month or whatever. You can totally do that. But even if you don't do something that's that extreme, but if you say, I'm going to start putting parameters that I am not going to go on social media in the evenings. I'm just not going to do it. Or instead I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to play a game with my kids, or in the mornings, I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to whatever it is. I keep saying reading and exercise because they're the two things that I never feel like I have enough time for. And so that's what I'm keep gravitating to, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be whatever it is. It could be journaling. It could be catching up on the phone with a friend, or I don't know, doing a craft, or doing a meal prep, or searching for recipes if you enjoy cooking, or gardening. It could be so many different things that are really enhancing the quality of your life. I don't think anybody has ever said that their lives have been truly enhanced by scrolling social media. And so when we look at how, where, when, and why we are going to that as our default, obviously the ease of convenience, it's there. So maybe for some people, it means taking those apps off of your phone. If it's not there, you can only use it at certain times, or putting up, again, you can set blocks in your settings on your phone to say I cannot access it here, or just start practicing. If you're somebody that is self-discipline, to say, no, I'm going to have this, book here. I'm going to have a cookbook here. I'm going to set time aside to do this X, Y, and Z task at this time. And the more you do it, and the more that you start getting fulfillment from this other thing other than social media, even if it is just for a particular season, I think you'll realize how much you don't miss it. Right. And if there are people that you want to see, you can intentionally go and see what they're up to. But you don't have to just sit there and digest and consume all of this mindless content, and at the sacrifice of doing things that are actually bringing value to you in your home. So that's my challenge for you. It's something I'm going to be working on this summer. I'm being really intentional about not having specific times of day where I go on and check social media. For me, it's a slippery slope because I need to be using it for my business as well as for personal stuff. But I am being very, very disciplined about saying I'm checking it in the morning. I'm checking it maybe in the afternoon, and then maybe I'm checking it one other time, but I'm doing it with like a specific time frame in mind. Like I'm giving myself, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever that time frame is to go in, comment, engage, share whatever I need to share, and then be done. So like I'm trying to limit my social media consumption to no more than an hour a day, whether that's an hour in one full swoop. I prefer to break it up into multiple different times a day. And I'll scroll between a couple of different apps, my personal, my business one. And that's it. So that's my challenge. Whatever your number is, I'm not going to tell you it should be X amount of time, but my goal is to do an hour a day, no more than an hour a day on social media. So I'll let you know how that goes. That's it for this week's tip of the week. I cannot believe we are wrapping up May already. We are going to be heading into the summer months, and I'm so excited for all the great things that we have planned on this episode, as well as our Thursday episodes. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe and follow button, share this with your friends, and leave us a review. We love it. We read it. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you. Until next week, I'm Lori Palau. Peace out.